Alright guys, just thought I'd do a short video on working on the car today. But before I do that, I really wanted to do a short video on some of my sponsors because this week the sponsors came through and all the parts came rolling in, and I just thought I'd run through some of them and who they're from because they've really helped me out so much with getting this car to sort of where it needs to be. Oh, the sun's coming out. Nice. So the first one is TyQ. Let me see. They're sort of the official distributors for Spoon Sports. Probably most people know them as Spoon Sports Europe and Dixel and stuff. And they're supporting me this year with my drive trainees. They gave me a final drive and an LSD because I just couldn't get them by myself, not with the rest of the car. And had a great chat with Anthony over a couple of emails, and we gelled, and he likes what we're doing, and I think we can get some great results, and these are sort of bits that I really needed. So I got a 5.1 final drive. I did actually ask for a 5.3, but he sent a 5.1, and actually in retrospect, after I've done the gearing calculations, it actually works out better because I don't lose so much top speed. I think I'm topping out with about 137 miles an hour at 8,600 RPM. So that's probably about as fast as I want to go. But if it's any shorter, I should be sitting on the red line everywhere. So good call, Anthony. Anyway, this LSD came, and I guess it's always nice getting a spoon box, isn't it? When it all comes in, you feel really cool opening it. Anyway, yeah, so it comes with the bearings and the LSD. So got to fit that. I'm not going to be able to get it in time for the shakedown at Rockingham next weekend, so I'll do it in April. Build up the box, because I've got some other stuff to go in there as well. But that's very cool, so huge thanks to TyQ. Can't wait to get them on. And the final drive I'm going to send off with the countershaft to get super finished, just to get every little bit out of them that I can, hopefully reduce wear as well. And the next bunch of people that came through me really strong was, you see here, Nemos Garage in California, of all places. And I sort of reached out to them because when I was trying to get sponsorship or help from some UK companies, I mean, most of them were pretty uninterested, and it's not because any fault of their own. I mean, a lot of them do their own sort of sponsorship of other race series and stuff, so they don't really need to get on board with yet another Honda when they've got their own championships and stuff running. So I had to go abroad and ask, and I liked what Nemo was doing. Saw them on Instagram, and they seemed like a really sort of family-orientated, helpful shop, and so I sort of approached them, and Joe got back to me. Sorry, I got interrupted there. Yeah, and Joe got back to me, and we had a great chat, back and forth, talking about what we're doing. He was really into sort of what we're doing, and said he'd be glad to help out. And sort of originally I approached him for, I approached him for this ASR part here, and I wanted one of the 32 mil hollow roll bars really badly. They were just too cool, really. Pretty lame reason, but that's sort of why. They're light, and they had tunability, and they just looked really well made. But yeah, so I approached him about one of those. I actually approached ASR, didn't hear anything back, but hey, you can't get them all the time, can you? I approached a couple of other companies because sponsorship sort of comes by approaching people in volume. But Nemo were the ones who sort of got back to me and helped me the most, and were really into the whole deal we were going with. And I just kept throwing parts requests at him, and he helped out because this is the first Honda I've built. I don't know much about them in terms of like what breaks in them and stuff. So he was saying, you got to do this, and he was really really helpful in getting all the right bits. So we got some really cool stuff. He actually I heard that the drive shafts, well, you call them axles in America, break quite often in the Civic Cup. So one thing I didn't want was to turn up to a race, having spent the money getting there and paying the entry fee and stuff, to have like a shaft break and just be nowhere, because I'm not going to carry too many spares. So I've only got one vehicle to tow everything around in. I can't carry that much. So Joe got me a set of insane shafts, 500 horsepower rated ones. So I'll whip them on, and hopefully they do me for the season, and I'll have no problems because I don't have a lot of power. 240, 250 or something, so it should hopefully be more than enough with the big sticky tyres, and the LSD should live up to everything I need. cooling wise, I said I was going to get a bigger rad, and Joe sorted me out with a coil rad, like a full width swap rad, and I would have had that on by now, but the original mounts, or the bottom rad mounts, well, the top one's being cut off to fit the K-tuned half rad, so Joe is now sending me a ASR sort of top and bottom mount kit to get that rad fitted. And actually, talking about sending me stuff, he sent this stuff out on Monday evening, and it was with me by Friday. I mean, I don't even get stuff from London off eBay as quick as that. You know, it just came straight here, no problems. Not even that much hassle, to be honest. They just sort of turned up, tracking numbers and everything. It's awesome stuff. Anyway, so you got me, yeah, the drive shaft's got the ASL bar, which is, you know, awesome piece of kit. You know, this isn't really an unboxing video, it's more of a thank you video, but you just gotta, the parts are so nice. And so light, which is the main thing for me. Oh, lucky that drops in the box and not on the floor. Ooh. And you know, the hollow bar, you know, comparative weight to a normal roll bar of the same stiffness, it's so much lighter, which is one of the things, just, my car didn't come with a roll bar, so adding a roll bar is just adding straight weight to it at the moment. I got my Synchrotech carbon synchros. I got full complement of GearX gears to give me the ratios I want. I'm actually running stock first, second, third, because I won't be using them too much probably. And then shortened up fourth, fifth, and sixth. So we've got basically perfect 20 mph splits between shifts, which should be awesome. LP wheel studs, because my blocks ones are crap and they stretched and, well, they're junk really. Speed Factory heavy duty shifter selector thingy, and the springs to go with it, because I don't want to be missing gears. T-shirts, and then I went with these Skunk Tube Ultra lower arms. Is this one open? Yeah, it's open. I went with them because sort of they're the lightest I could really see, and a lot of the boys run spherical bearings on both ends. The reason I didn't want to go for spherical bearings on both ends is because the poly's, you know, poly's quite hard, but more than anything, it resists sort of an axial motion, and when you've got the damper mounted on this one here, the Devis, what am I talking about? The clevis on the damper, and your roll bar fits there. So the load from the roll bar sort of puts an axial force or torque twisting motion on the arm itself, and your damper becomes sort of like a thrust bearing, which I didn't want really. I don't know why anyone would, but if you've got spherical bearings sort of on the inner mount, it's free to twist the bars, the lower arm. So that's sort of why I went for these ones, and I went for gold because I kind of just wanted them to stand out on the bottom of the car, a bit of bling, but, you know, so I'll whip them on. And my plan today is to get these on, to get the roll bar on, and then to do the rad later on in the week when the other parts turn up. Axles I'll leave until I get the gearbox out, but then that's that. But just a huge thanks to TyQ and to Nemos Garage for sorting me out and making this car freaking awesome. So cheers guys, really appreciate it. And anyone else, you need to check them out, because even though they're in America, you know, you can get stuff at a great price and get them over here quickly. And then the same with TyQ, if you want some like premium goods and great support and, you know, real big brands, talk to them, because I'm actually running with them with Dixel as well, and I've got full Dixel setup, brakes, discs and pads, and then I got the Spoon twin blocks on the front. So, you know, they're a lot lighter than some of the big ones. I know they're not as big as some of the other brakes you can get, but I shouldn't really need them too much to be too big. And with the pads, and Honda's actually sending me a one of the cooling sort of air guides as well next week, so that'll help keep the temps on them down. But either way, awesome stuff all around, and I'm feeling really happy with the build. Can't wait to get out on track and, you know, do justice to what everyone's helped me out with. So thanks again everyone. Cheers, catch you there.